time to turn this state around, isn't it? Are we tired of tax increases?
Yeah!
Are we tired of not paying our bills?
Yeah!
Are we tired of being the biggest debt state per capita in the nation?
Yeah!
Are we tired of record unemployment?
Yeah!
And are we going to change it?
Yeah!
Yes, we are. We're going to save our state. Save our state. Save our state.
Save our state.
You know,
our state.
I often say if higher taxes and higher fees, more regulation, more litigation, deficits and debt created jobs, we'd be the #1 job-producing state in the nation. But we're not. And we know what the simple answer is. It's to stop the chatter about tax increases and start talking about reducing the tax burden on the families and businesses of Illinois. It's about cutting spending, no less than a dime on every dollar, like you and your family have done, you and your business have done, and it's time for the state of Illinois to do it as well, isn't it? You see, it doesn't have to be this way. We live in the greatest state in the nation. Yes, the liabilities that Governor Quinn and Governor Blagojevich has encumbered us with are horrifying. $70 billion in unfunded pension obligations, half of which they accumulated over the last 8 years. $20 billion in bonded indebtedness, half of which they've saddled us with over the last 8 years. And mounting unpaid bills, over $6 billion in bills we owe human service providers, healthcare institutions, educational institutions, cities and counties, and we've had enough of this, haven't we? We're going to change it. We're going to make Illinois the #1 state in the nation by using the wonderful assets that we have. Yes, those liabilities are horrifying. But when you look at what this state has to offer, rooted in our agricultural base and its soil, looking beyond to our energy resources from our wind, our oil, and our coal, do you realize we have more infrastructure, rail, river, road, and air right-of-way than any other state in the nation per capita? We have the finest healthcare institutions. We have the finest colleges and universities. We have 13 million people. We are the 5th largest state in the nation and the 18th largest economy in this world, ready to go to work if we work with them instead of against them as a government. Now, with the mounting deficits and debt, there is no question we need more revenues in this state to meet our obligations. But you know what? Raising tax rates isn't going to cut it. We cannot tax, spend, and borrow like Pat Quinn wants out of this problem. We have to work on bringing jobs back. How do we get revenues? Well, do you realize the 700,000 families and jobs we've lost in the last 8 to 10 years mean over $3 billion in annual revenue? Not only does a job create wealth for a family, but it brings resources to the state. Resources that can be used to pay down our deficits and debt, to invest in reducing property tax burden, to make our schools the finest in this nation. That's what we have to focus on. How do we bring the jobs back? Which is why I go beyond saying no new taxes and talk about cutting the tax burden on families and businesses in this state. Let's start with the sales tax on gasoline. We are one of the few states in the nation that double taxes gasoline. Do you know what that means? It means if you've got an empty tank and you're within 30 miles of a border, what do? You drive to a neighboring state to buy your gas. But you know what? You don't just buy your gas. You buy your bread, your beverages, your cigarettes. You pay their property taxes and their income taxes, and our economies and our families suffer, and it's time to change it by eliminating the sales tax on gasoline in this state. Let's talk about another reason we've lost 700,000 people to other states. We're one of the few states in the nation that has an estate tax penalty. Do you realize we penalize retiring baby boomers to the point they decide to live in another state in their retirement years? These are some of our greatest citizens, one of the fastest growing demographic groups in today's economy in this state, and we're pushing them out to other states. We're pushing their spending, we're pushing their economic resources, and it's time to stop it and say enough is enough. We've had enough. We'll eliminate the estate tax penalty in Illinois. You see, by cutting the cost, by reducing the size of government, by rolling back spending no less than a dime in every dollar, we can make Illinois work for families instead of politicians. That's what this is all about. It's about taking back our government and putting it to work for the families of Illinois, not the career politicians. Which was why this big, beautiful bus over here you see, donated to our campaign, is called the Clean Break Express. It's time we had a clean break from the politics of the politicians of the past, which is why we need to adopt term limits, contribution limits, and districts drawn for a community's interest, not self-serving political fiefdoms. Our message is simple. The people of Illinois understand it. Less government, lower taxes, more private sector jobs, living within our means, and ending political fiefdoms. That's why I'm pleased to tell you that every independent poll taken since the primary has us up nearly in double digits. The citizens of Illinois have had enough. That's the good news. The challenging news is it's July and not November. So we need your help. We need to make sure that those men and women who are fighting for our freedom and our personal liberty in harm's way overseas are done. They not only have the greatest country in the nation to come back to, but the greatest state in the nation to come back to. We owe it to them, as they're fighting for us, to fight for them from now until November. There are great candidates across this state to support. I'm just one of them. I'd ask you to join our cause as well as the rest of them if we want to really move Illinois to the forefront. As Ronald Reagan said, if we want them to be, our greatest days are ahead of us, and to get there we have to elect people who will help us make Illinois the greatest state in the nation.
Yay!
Nancy and I want to thank you for having us here. We want to ask you to join our campaign by visiting BradyForIllinois.com. Become a Twitter friend, become a Facebook friend, or become a text partner by texting Vote Brady at 66937 and join our efforts to save our state and make Illinois the greatest state in the nation. Thank you. God bless you. God bless the United States of America.